Alright, now we go to Chapter 15, titled, Red Rover, Blue Rover, Will You Come Over? That's not the tune I'm usually used to. In the mirror was the beautiful face of Linda Entwistle. It was enough to make Tim Bradley forget about chocolate. She was so beautiful his heart leapt, and he could think of nothing else but pleasing her. Linda! Hello! What was her voice?
Woman.
Woman? Hello, Tim, she said. I cannot stay long. I came because there is great danger. What? The name?
We're kind of fucked.
Shit, we don't have any laurels. Laurels? Well, what was to the left of the,
Diamond?
Oh. Well. You should have got 2 laurels then.
I did. I just used the other one when I wasn't supposed to.
Oh.
Alright, we got this. We got this. Please continue reading.
Alright. Haha. There is great danger. She started fading in and out of focus. Trouble is in the... Linda, said Simon, stepping forward. We cannot hear you. Speak up. Her image flickered in the mirror, like a bad reception on a TV screen. Cannot speak long, she managed to say. Your energy is running low, and there are no ghouls now in Algebra. You must find a man in a grey suit from the resistance movement. He will upgrade your white crystal into something more powerful. This will give you more energy. What would really give him more energy, thought Tim, would be some serious chocolate. From there, you must find your own way, said Linda. And then, as suddenly as she came, she disappeared. Linda! Cried Simon. A most curious emanation, said Edward Farquhar, curiously surprised.
Do you just your best bear voice?
What?
You're just your best bear voice.
That was my best bear voice. A most curious emanation. What could she mean by that? Simon shook his head, baffled. There must be 100 men in grey. I know not. Ah, said Edward Farquhar, his broad face beaming. But perhaps I do. You do? Well, do not hide it, my friend. Cookie Monster knows where the resistance is. There is a man across the square named Harrelson. He is a cobbler by trade, but he always wears grey. There is no other citizen of Algebra for who grey is a constant apparel. I'm almost going into Yoda. That's it, then, said Simon, tucking the garlic and laurels into his backpack. Thank you, my friend. Come, Tim. We must go find the man in grey. Sure enough, Simon Belmont found the man in grey just where Edward Farquhar had promised he would, in his cobbler shop. However, the man, Richard Harrelson by name, was hardly as cooperative as Simon's friend in the anti-vampire shop had been. For one thing, he claimed he needed money for the crystal upgrade. What's Richard's voice gonna be? You can't give these things away for free, he said. A man's gotta make a living, you know. And I reckon, from the looks of you, I mean, with those blonde locks and those muscles, I'll take you to be a hero and probably a very wealthy man. So why should I let you take me for a fool, eh? Is that a good voice? I really...
Go for it.
Yeah. Simon was aghast at this. I am not a rich man by any means. I serve goodness and right. The man, a fellow with a weaselly narrow face and greasy hair pasted across his forehead, gave a sneaky smile. Ah, yes, but this nose, he touched his rat-like snout. This proboscis of mine smells coins, and these ears, he tapped a hairy lobe, they hear the jingle of coins, no? In truth, I do have a few coins in my pocket, and perhaps I can spare one for your trouble in this manner. But only one, I think. Tim got exasperated. Look, Simon, I'm going to leave you two to your bargaining. I'm just going around into the alley for a minute. Tim turned and walked back into the street, leaving the duo to negotiate their deal. Actually, he was sort of half hoping that he'd run across some chocolate, or at least something sweet. But of course, there is no chocolate in Castlevania. No, strike that. there was chocolate in Castlevania, but now it was in the bottom of that quicksand. So he just went into a random alley to find chocolate.
Gotta get my fix, man!
This guy is such a crack addict for fucking chocolate. It's, like, this is impressive. Like, this is...
Hershey's got their hold on that man.
Yeah. He knew that if he could just hang in there, he'd be triumphant along with Simon. Hadn't his experience with video games taught him that? If you get beat, you started over and kept trying. What was the word for that? Perseverance. That's right, he had to persevere. Still, all the same, he could sure do with a Hershey's kiss. "Hello?" said a voice from the darkness. Tim startled. "Who's there?" he demanded. He held out his torch, and a solitary figure stepped into the light. It was a girl, a young girl about his age. She was cute, too, with dark eyes and dark hair and a smile that reminded Tim of Carol Jantz back home. "Just me. My name is Melanie. You look like someone I can trust. I need someone I can trust." Your face says it all.
No, I'm being chased by a herd of eyeballs.
Oh, well, my name's Tim. Actually, I'm Simon Belmont's assistant. We're taking the tour of the country, picking up this and that. For the good of Castlevania, you understand. Her eyes sparkled with good humor. "Oh, you mean you're going to kick Dracula out so we can get some sunshine?" "Yeah, I guess you could say that, Melanie." "Well, I'm all for that. I could use a little sunshine. You will be my friend, won't you?" "Sure, why not?" "Here.
Stranger danger! Stranger danger!
Would you like a piece of chocolate?"
Stranger danger!
Bells rang. Somewhere in Tim's mind, trumpets sounded. Chocolate? Did she say chocolate? "Yeah," he said, reaching out. But just as he was about to take some candy that the girl was offering him, something stopped him. What was a girl doing with this stuff? "Wait a second," he said, not knowing whether or not to be suspicious, but pretty sure it was something was rotten in Castlevania. "Simon Belmont says there's no chocolate in Castlevania." "I got it from a special place," Melanie said. "Go ahead. Take it. It's a chocolate truffle. Godiva chocolate." Godivas, of course, were some of the very best chocolates there were. And suddenly, Tim could smell the piece of chocolate. The scent of the sweet ecstasy wandered his nose. "Nice, yeah! Bro punch!" Nice. He could almost taste the chocolate. He felt an almost uncontrollable urge to reach out and grab that candy and cram it into his mouth. But he restrained himself. "What's wrong?" asked Melanie. "Don't you trust me?" "No, I don't trust you. This is just a trick, Dracula." Suddenly, Melanie's face began to distort and change. Her nose grew. Fangs came out of her mouth. After a few seconds,
Melanie, girl, what happened? You let yourself go.
her true identity was revealed. Melanie was really Dracula in disguise. Smiling, Dracula turned to Tim.
You turned into a creepy Romanian dude.
"Stop interfering and head back to your own dimension. If you leave now, I'll give you all the chocolate you can eat." "No!" said Tim. "What?" asked the vampire. "No!" said Tim, forcibly stopping himself. "No, I'm not going back until we've kicked your sorry spirit back to the dimension where it belongs." The result in the vampire was radical. At first, the fearsome face showed nothing, then disbelief, to replaced immediately by an explosion of hate and fury. "Impossible! Nobody resists the temptations of Dracula. Has it occurred to you, you little piece of rot, that because of this decision, you may never ever taste the extraordinary taste bud pleasures of chocolate again?" All of that being actually lines from the book. Tim cringed. That hadn't occurred to him, and he wasn't sure if Dracula was bluffing. But even if he was, the young man intended to stick to his guns. I don't care! Now just go away! You can't hurt me! You don't even have a body! "Little rodent, very well, but I warn you, you shall regret this day for the rest of your life." And so saying, Dracula disappeared in an explosion of color and fizzing fireworks, and a stink like moldering leftovers forgotten too long in a refrigerator. Tim left in a hurry. Did not seem like a good idea to stay in this alley. No, not at all. Heading out, he ran directly into Simon Belmont. "My gracious, you're in a hurry, and why? You look like you've seen your own ghost." Tim held his tongue on the Dracula business. No reason to alarm his traveling companion unduly.
No reason to warn the vampire slayer that Dracula's right around the corner.
Vampire. This place is not the most comforting spot in the universe. Did you get the stuff? Simon held up the crystal. It was no longer white. It flashed with the bluest blue that Tim had ever seen, the color of blue where ocean meets the sky. It cost me more than I had hoped, but I got what we need. Well then, what are we waiting for? Which way do we go? Simon smiled and looked down at the glowing blue with wonder. Come, my friend. I have the feeling that the light is shining on us now, and perhaps the way from here on out will be smooth. Thus concluding chapter 15. And what a horrible night to have a curse.